Alright, Shalom. Before I start, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shad, Bahasham, Rachakorash, the honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim, Wa Aqua, learning, teaching, and truth and sincerity. Another video through the spirit, your brother Malak from GMS Detroit. Hey, I know some of y'all done seen this situation. Not to, this ain't no black hip hop gossip type deal. We're really turning this into an actual lesson for the brothers specifically. Ayesha Keisha. The fact that our women, through Esau, Edom's, well, really it's curses, first and foremost, right? Came from the Heavenly Father, right? All the way going back to the garden, that we'd be in this position where these women are out of order. Combining it, the curses, Deuteronomy 28, add Esau, Edom's mind manipulation, right? Willie Lynch letter. He has fully trained our women to be against us in every step of the way, even to where the point, y'all, you have white women that will go on to try to explain to black women how they've been psychologically conditioned to hate their men and be against them, and they still can't see it. And this is something, y'all, you have to be aware of in this truth. If you running around with that black queen spirit, mama, you was a Dauphine, mama, but you still clean, mama, type spirit, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. So we're just going to use this example with Steph Curry. And I got some other clips. Here it is, multimillionaire, right? Well acclaimed and known man in the world. And his wife is hopping online talking about, essentially, she wished she would have went and been a hoe. She didn't want no kids. She didn't want to get married. Publicly embarrassing him. But this is the mindset that has been given to our women, y'all, to not respect your manhood, no matter what you do, no matter your status, no matter your fame. Why? Because ultimately, y'all, we are in captivity under another man. So you will never be truly looked at and loved on that level until the kingdom, y'all. That's just a fact of the matter in this Game of Thrones. And right now, we're not sitting on the throne. I just got some other clips, so we'll start with this. It says, pray for Steph Curry.
Kids, did you always knew you wanted a big family?
No. So, I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be career girl and that's it. And I had my eyes set on my goals. And I was never the little girl that dreamt about the wedding dress and all of that. And then it happened so early in my life. So it's one of those things, you don't know what you actually don't know what you want.
It's so hard also to be the woman in a situation where you're men just don't get as much scrutiny. They can maybe tell him your fucking shots suck tonight, but the looks and all of that is just not a factor of conversation as much.
No.
Did you talk to Steph about it? Or did you kind of keep it within yourself so it didn't?
I do.
4 kids.
So you see she's sitting there blabbing.
Body that can keep anything to myself. So if it comes to mind, it's coming out. And he's so gracious. He tries to resonate with me, but he just can't. And he also comes from a place of it's effing stupid. It's not true, so why are you? And I'm but wait, listen to how it makes me feel. And he's but why does it make you feel like that? It's not real. After we got married, we were pregnant with our daughters so quickly. I didn't even have time to think about what I wanted anymore. It's so interesting. I spent my entire life trying to work towards something, and then it kind of just disappeared, and I didn't think twice about it. But after my daughter turned 1, a bone in my body that can keep anything to myself. So
you see she's an airhead.
I remember there being a shift and being I have goals for myself. This doesn't feel right. I love being a mom, but I love doing other things too. And I need to get my shit together and figure out what that looks like for myself now.
If I have a career and I'm not home.
So this doesn't feel right. Being a mother doesn't feel right. Being a loving wife doesn't feel right. I want to do my own thing. Where does that philosophy and mindset come from? Ask yourself. Who taught our women that? All the way back to the garden, y'all. Thou shalt not surely die. And we're seeing that play out in this world today. One of the methods through feminism, right? Sexual liberation, all that good stuff. Our women have clung to the philosophy of the serpent, and it affects us real time today.
To a whole other thing, but
What?
my husband really loves my feet.
Oh, I love that.
And so, like, the light was hitting him just right that day. And so I was like, let me just snap this photo and send him a picture of my feet. So I always say, like, when he says to send nudes, like, that's what he's getting, a picture of my bare feet. I don't know if he's happy about it. Turn into a whole other thing. But
Right, I'm not. This is some embarrassing ass shit, y'all. This is some embarrassing ass shit, man. Just down bad, right? I'll throw another one up there real quick. It says Cardi B has reportedly agreed to a multi-million-dollar spousal support deal with Offset to finalize their divorce, giving him a 70-30 split of their assets. Offset alleges Cardi walked out on him, left her with their kids, and got pregnant by another man while they were still married. So, y'all, if you out here ignorant to the nature of our women, you will easily be destroyed. Is there some decent sisters out there? Yeah, and if the Lord pair you with one, that's cool. But we got to keep it a buck. The majority have been completely overran by Satan. So if you're ignorant to that, like in some of these other Israelite camps, one of the reasons why Tazariak had an issue with us as a Great Millstone is because of the fact that we speak on the nature of women, and him being such a feminized, woman-worshiping big black man, right? He couldn't deal with that nature. Hey. This is one of them things, y'all. Either the Holy Spirit is going to deal with you to accept and acknowledge, or it's not, and you'll fall. Deuteronomy, I want to get 28 and 56. It says, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. So that is a literal curse upon our people, y'all. That they, specifically our women, they reject motherhood to embrace the liberalism that the so-called white man has invited them to partake in. That's a part of the fornicating with the whore of Babylon, right? Drinking of that cup. One of the things is women being released from their wife and motherly duties to be essentially to act like a man with a vagina. And they're reveling in it, and they don't want to be stripped of that freedom. And so you have a choice to make, brothers. Pretend like this is not a reality, and go and, well, your mama black, and just go get you any hood rat off the street just because they look similar to you. And when you're suffering, don't be complaining to brothers about it, straight up. Now, any woman can be a piece of shit. Edomite woman, Northern Kingdom woman, goddamn a bitch from Britain. Any woman has a capacity to treat you like shit. But we're speaking about our women, and we're keeping it real about our women today. Let's keep it a buck. Lamentations 4 and 3. Even the sea monsters draw out the breast. They give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people has become cruel like the ostriches in the wilderness. Straight up, straight down. Our women have become cruel towards their husband, towards their children. And if we were to keep reading back in that Deuteronomy and right here, we see that one of the things that happened, y'all, when we would be besieged by the enemy, our women would cannibalize their children or straight up let them starve to death. And that's going to happen today. When Jacob's trouble is in full gear, because we're seeing the beginnings of it, right? Gear 1. When we shift up to like 3, 4, 5, you're going to see what them black queens is capable of. When they throwing them little niggas out the way so they can run and live on their own. This ain't no joke. Many of them, their minds are completely given to Satan. What you gonna do? Alright, so we're coming back here. I'll let a couple clips play. They're just not getting it, y'all. Look at this. On the outside, you think this is a beautiful, loving family. She never wanted them kids. She never wanted to play wife. Right? He just happened to, be a breakout NBA player. And so she's sitting chilling for the money. And it doesn't matter how cool you are, how tough you are. When a woman's mind is set on following Satan, that's it. There's nothing you can do about it. Don't try to hold on to Satan.
Kids, did you always knew you wanted a big family?
No. So, I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. I thought.
Imagine hearing that. Imagine hearing your mama say that, y'all. Hey, I'm gonna keep it real, y'all. Some of y'all's biggest, us the Israelite man, Negro, Latino, Native American, some of your biggest adversaries growing up was your mother. Keeping it a buck. Even if you did have your father in your life, right? You know, say, hey, I had custody battle, telling you lies about your father, making you trying to, make you a son husband, all that bullshit. Let me show you an example.
A girl is attacking you. Do you see her as a girl?
She's a threat.
Okay, she is a threat, but you gonna hit a girl?
Think about it. When military says neutralize a threat, they don't say about specifying male or female. They say it's a threat. Therefore, neutralize it. You know what I'm saying?
Therefore, neutralize it. He's right. If you trying to do harm to me, I don't care if you're a goddamn zebra. We gotta make something happen. But you see his mother right there, y'all, little subtle things like this. What is she trying to do? She's trying to psychologize him to be a woman worshiper, to let the woman slide, which is wickedness. So now, he gets into some sort of DV with his baby mama, and now he's hemmed up, locked the fuck up. Not saying you should be going blow for blow with your baby mama, but rather than learning how to deal with the situation properly, he's being trained to always let the woman win. And that can lead to your imprisonment or to your death, straight up. Rather than using your God-given brain, removing yourself from the situation, or never dealing with a woman like that at all, or in worst case scenario, protect your life. Nope. Use clean, that bullshit as black woman worship spirit, which will lead you to death, y'all. And many of these other Israelite camps, you look at IOIC, you look at IOSPK, they have a black woman worship demon on them, which is why they're very light on their statements towards it. The only thing they teach them to do is not to wear fucking pants. But they don't want to actually teach them real order. That's why here at Great Millstone, a lot of people have a problem with us, because we don't pull no punches, especially on women. Because if you do, what does the scripture say, y'all? And you sisters got to keep it real with yourselves. If you let the women slide, they will attempt to slide. And now you have a society that's just abominable. Let me get that real quick. We'll go back. Yep. Sirach 26:10. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. So if your daughter doesn't know how to behave, you have to keep a hard lock on her, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty, tossing her body around, drugs, getting tatted up, hanging out with the cool guys, getting fucked on, getting pregnant in the house. That is a reality that some of us deal with. Don't play ignorant to it. Let me show y'all this clip. So you even gonna have your girl Pearl, old tall ass white woman, trying to explain some of the problems with so-called feminism. And it's crazy, y'all, man. We got it bad down here, y'all. The Israelite man, we have it the worst. And one of the big things is the fact that everybody is against us, even our own women. That's a very big issue, y'all. When your root and your foundation is broken, it's hard to prosper, nigga.
This idea that women are nurturing, well, what's your evidence for it? Other than we give birth, and anyone can do, like a dog can do that, a cat. So I don't think that makes us nurturing. I just don't see.
Biological makeup that women are nurturing, and I'm not saying all women are nurturing. Of course, there are bad women out there, and there are also man fathers who abuse their children.
All right, Salaki, y'all.
This idea that women are nurturing, well, what's your evidence for it? Other than we give birth, and anyone can do, like a dog can do that, a cat. So I don't think that makes us nurturing. I just don't see.
Biological makeup that women are nurturing, and I'm not saying all women are nurturing. Of course, there are bad women out there, and there are also man fathers who abuse their children. So we're not going to only say that only women.
I will
abuse
say,
their
because no, but it is a fact that the majority of abuse is done by women. Like, imagine
Say it all. We never say.
And you know, just think about it logically, right? If the majority of women in the United States are given custody, then by default, the majority of abuse is going to be women, y'all. But so you see here, the argument really that black woman there, she's in that mindset of all black men are bad, even though she's just saying men. You know who she wants to sling the mud at. Then Pearl's trying to show her, hey, it's not, you know, contrary to what the media has been brainwashing to believe, you got some of these mothers that can be pieces of shit too. But she doesn't want to, you know, accept that reality because she's been so brainwashed by Zaddy to look at her old man as a piece of shit, right? The color purple type spirit, right? I can do bad all by myself type spirit. That's that spirit she got on her. And you can't tell her nothing.
I actually didn't. I didn't, but I said the majority. I said the majority. Okay, are you trying to nitpick here? Or are you trying to understand what I'm saying? One out of 3 women have killed a kid, and the majority of abuse is done by women. You're the one that's misrepresenting that by saying I'm lying, because that's true. The majority.
You said man never abused
the majority.
They
rarely. Okay, so when it comes to the abortion, I think it's actually very realistic to not get pregnant. And in fact, men have made it so easy to not get pregnant. Women said, I want to have casual sex. So the men said, here you go, here's condoms. And then the women said, no, I want to let him hit it raw. And they said, fine, do that. Here's plan B. They still couldn't do it. They're like, just take this pill. The next day, can you take it? And they're like, no, we can't do that. And so then they said, all right, here's an IUD, 99% effective. You shove it up there and then you're done. You don't have to worry about this. Can you do that? The women said no. They said, here's a pill. Can you take this pill daily? Can you do it? And the ladies are like, no, it's too hard. They said, okay, we've done all this research. Track your cycle. You can only get pregnant.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm at the gig. Coworkers and shit coming up to me.
Few days of the month. And the women said, no, we can't do that either. They're like, here's an ovulation stick. You can even track when you're ovulating. Here, you can track it on your phone. Can you do that? And the women said, no, that's too hard. Here's a stick for your arm. You can shove this in your arm. Can you do that and not get pregnant? And the women still said no. They said, okay, here's an abortion pill where you can just take the pill in the first month. Is that enough? Is that enough for you guys? And they said, no, that's still too hard. It's tough being a woman because my gender just lets me down a lot. You know what I mean? If we were so nurturing, we wouldn't raise such terrible kids. My sister works at a daycare, and she says she sees a stark difference between the kids with 2 parents and 1, or the kids with a dad in their life and that not. She says they're more rambunctious, they don't listen, they have no discipline, and men don't abuse their children en masse. There are exceptions, yeah, but overwhelmingly, the majority of the time, women are the ones abusing children. It's over 50% of abuse is done by women. If it's done by a man, it's usually a man the woman brought into the kid's life. So that's...
Oh. So y'all, you know, so as men, what are we supposed to do with this, y'all? Here it is. You got Keisha, bald head. She clearly hates the black man. She refuses to be reasoned with. And then you have a heathen woman who's being logical, right? So as a man, what is the smartest option? To deal with a woman who just looks like you and go through hell, or to deal with a non-Israelite woman on this side, right? You ain't making a bitch your wife like Elder Apostle Har says. You just fucking, you just getting that desire up out you so you can continue on about your day, right? What's that damn song, man? Oh, what's that fucking song? What's a man to do? You know what I'm saying, y'all? So, brothers, don't feel no shame about it. If you're going to deal with a heathen because the bitch is on your program, then let it be. Because as of right now, our women have been utterly trained to be against us. That's a reality. That's a fact. If you're ignorant to this, you can fall to this. Straight up, straight down. I got 2 more clips, and that's really about it. So, like, y'all, Jay keep coming up to me. Let me play... Oh, okay, you know what? Let me get a script real quick. This is really one of my favorite ones, dealing with this woman situation, y'all. If you don't understand this topic, it can destroy you. If you want to get all offended and butthurt, your mama black, this and that, this is one of them things, y'all. You go ahead and pick somebody just because they look like you, and watch you go through hell on a profound level. Hosea 4:13. I will not punish your daughters when they commit whoredom, nor your spouses when they commit adultery. For themselves are separated with whores, and they sacrifice with harlots. Therefore the people that doth not understand shall fall. So if you don't understand this, y'all, you can very well fall. The Heavenly Father has put these women in a position where they're doing much and massive evil, and they're allowed to get away with it under Esau-Edom system. And it's simply going to be like this until we're restored to power. So take your pick. You're going to pick one who looks like you but hates your guts and is going to fight with you at every step and turn, or are you going to deal with a woman who doesn't look like you but is willing to shut up and do what you need her to do? It's an easy answer. But are you going to let the world shame you into picking the bad choice? Come on now.
Married to God. I can never be married to a woman.
I'm married.
I'm married to God. I can never be married to a woman.
So that's a no.
I'm married. Yeah, well, we are married. I'm married to every woman I ever laid with.
But
Because
no, you're not.
Yeah,
No, this is where you're gonna lose me.
Okay, but well, let me. He who if he is lost, let's get found. When two flesh become one, you are married. You get a certificate and a ring and a ceremony don't validate your
Yes,
marriage.
it
And
does.
they don't say that nowhere in the Bible.
It does.
These people gave
If
me
you
that.
go to the hospital and you're not married and somebody dies or somebody's on the deathbed and they need somebody to say, I need the power of attorney, that is
That's why you get a trust.
No.
That's why you have a trust.
Okay, speak
That's
on that.
why you
then.
have.
Speak on the
That's
I'm married.
So you see, her mind is completely washed with Edom's mindset. And you see in the comments, people are actually agreeing with the Jake. But of course, she's so through in the head. Right here, look, Keisha said it. How about that? It says sex is marriage, correct? And that's what he's trying to say. He doesn't, he's not explaining it the best, but he did. He made the analogy, right? He did make the analogy. So that goes to show you, our women, they're not trying to hear that, man. They're linked up. They have the mind of the serpent implanted in them. She's talking about that paper that Zaddy provides via the government, and now they have control over the relationship and the fallout when it occurs. He's talking about the actual joining together of the body. Right here it says he on a higher learning. She learned what the system says exactly. Typical suspect, run from this type. Look at these people. Also, so now we got Keisha kicking back. Sex is not marriage. Sex consummates marriage. Bitch, same thing, bro. What? Yeah, bro. So you see some people agreeing with Jake, and the women agreeing with the woman. This is you see what time we are.
I'm married.
Let me get this last one.
Black women and white men are more or so equally yoked in the grander scheme of things. No shade out to
Wow.
I know y'all probably both like, what the hell? But that's
Explain your math.
All right.
Explain your math.
Nice building. Nice building.
All right.
Beautiful gowns.
Listen,
Beautiful
gowns is crazy. When you look at where black women fall, at least household wise, head of household, education, leading the education right now, the responsibilities that we have, most of the time, we're a little bit closer to each other in understanding. Whereas,
so hold on.
Hey, don't you do it.
I hate.
Don't say nothing. Well, who
saying.
are black men? Who is our companion? Who we got? If that's the dynamic.
I'm speaking of when it comes to interracial relationships. I'm not saying it in the sense of like, oh, I feel like black women and white men should be together. That's not what I'm saying at all. But a lot of the times, I'm saying in the situations where it does happen, if you look at like Serena Williams and whatever man.
I don't want to look at that. That upsets me as fuck. I'm mad. You shouldn't have never even brought that up.
Why? They're the ones calling her big black.
You don't think white men was doing that too?
Yeah, they were definitely doing it. They was doing it the most.
Them doing it is not a surprise to me. Black men doing it is wild. Black women.
So right here, you see exactly what she was saying. I actually understand what she's saying, right? She's not saying she's telling Keisha to go run with E, but she's saying, financially look, y'all, they have control over our women. Their mindset is geared towards them. And you'll have certain Keisha, yeah, they may like Jake, right, for the sexual aspect, but they've been completely trained to worship Zaddy, to want to be with him, to love him, right? Although, if you're not a true black man, you're not a real man, right? You see the hypocrisy? So you're not allowed to deal with nothing. Like he said, well, then what woman do we have? If you're more equally yoked with Zaddy because of your mindset, and you've been well trained through slavery, Jim Crow, right? A frozen mental state to raise the boys to be effeminate and to raise the women to be masculine. You're right. So what does that leave us with, y'all? That leaves us with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And that's our true focus. That's the overarching thing of it. Brothers, don't put so much emotion and time into these women, whether Israelite or not. Simply deal with them, get that urge about your system, and keep it pushing, right? If you have children, right, you handle your business, but don't put so much stock into them, because simply put, y'all, they're not ours on this side. They have the mind of the enemy imprinted upon them, and this is one of the curses that we're dealing with, and they're simply not gonna get it until this right here. And I'll end on this one, the classic, right? Micah 7 and 10. It says, then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her which said unto me, where is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her, now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. So right there, they're not going to get it until this place collapses and this system that they've been trusting in falls over. And our God and our power, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, is revealed to be the only true God and power. That's when they'll get it, and by then, too many of them will be dead. And like the apostles always say, we don't need the Israelite woman to repopulate, and that's just the whole buck. So for the sisters that are around and do listen, be in order, lest ye be destroyed. All right, straight up, straight down, y'all. We give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem. Wakakurash, double honors to the elders and apostles, their millstone, peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim, Wa Aqua, learning and teaching in truth and sincerity. Shalom.